Today we dive deep into Volume 21 Chapter 1 of That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime and explore the beginning of Shion's ultimate awakening of Susanoo, a transformation that marks one of the most important turning points in the series. The chapter opens with Tempest thrown into chaos after Rimuru mysteriously vanishes, leaving his subordinates without their leader or any clear answers. With communication cut off and Rimuru's fate unknown, the forces of Tempest are forced to act on their own, carrying the weight of his absence, while preparing for a battle that threatens the world itself. The focus soon shifts to the suspended world, a strange battlefield where time has completely stopped. In this frozen dimension, movement, magic, and even thought are heavily restricted, trapping powerful fighters in a state where resistance feels nearly impossible. For most, this realm represents absolute defeat. But for Shion, it becomes the catalyst for something far greater. As one of Rimuru's most loyal and emotional followers, Shion is hit especially hard by the situation. Watching her allies struggle while being unable to move freely, she is pushed to the edge both physically and mentally. Unlike others, Shion refuses to accept helplessness. Her grief, rage, and desperation begin to tear at the rules of the suspended world itself. Rather than overpowering it through strength, she instinctively adapts, beginning to move despite time being frozen. This moment is critical, as it signals a shift not just in her body, but in her very existence. With Rimuru gone, the restraints placed on her power weaken, allowing the potential buried within her unique skill cook to surface. Her emotional collapse becomes the trigger for evolution, driven by a need to protect Tempest at any cost. That is when Shion awakens Susanoo, an ultimate skill known as Susanoo, Lord of Tyranny. This power fundamentally changes how Shion fights. At its core is Minus Break, an ability that allows her to cancel, absorb, and convert incoming energy into her own strength. Rather than simply blocking attacks, Shion can now turn an enemy's power against them, reshaping it into raw destructive force. While Susanoo does not make her invincible, it elevates her into a completely new tier of existence, capable of challenging threats that once dwarfed her entirely. This awakening marks the true beginning of Shion's transformation, both as a warrior and as a pillar of Tempest. But her awakening of Susanoo, Lord of Tyranny, doesn't end the battle, it marks the true beginning of it. Within the suspended world, Shion finally stands on equal footing, able to move, think, and fight freely while time itself remains frozen. For the first time, Dagruel is forced to acknowledge her presence, not as a mere subordinate of Rimuru, but as a legitimate combatant who has stepped into the realm of ultimate skills.